Ladies and gentlemen, card collectors, wrestling fans, one and the same. I brought a very special guest back. A lot of you know him as the Wrestle Card King. Rob England is back with us today to talk about a card that he has in his possession and what he plans on doing with the card and why. And I think we can all learn from this. Um, Rob, you want to tell them about this auction that's going on or that's happening, the Goldin auction? Let everybody know what
Yes.
that
So,
is. And there you go. Go ahead.
all right. Yeah. So, thank you,
Mhm.
Rob England, Wrestling Card King here. Few decades into collecting wrestling cards, and I have a really great card that I'm interested to see what it does in the mainstream, and that is to take Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, or Rocky Maivia in this case, to Golden auctions and to see how it does.
Perfect. Do you have that card with you, or do we,
So
can we take a
the
look at
thing
it?
is with this Rock rookie card is that I own two of them, the only two that are in existence, and I've decided to send one to Golden Auctions to see how it does, but I do have its twin here. So
Perfect.
I could go ahead and show you.
Let's take a look. There it is. PSA 10, Rocky Maivia, 1997, pristine condition. He has the only two. He had the only two.
Yeah. And what I like about this rookie card of The Rock is that it has the manufacturer name, which is Panini, which is a well known name in the sports card industry. It has a card number,
Mhm.
and it also has the year that it was manufactured.
Mm.
And it is a sticker, which some people didn't like stickers at one time. But one of the other things that I have here is a Mike Tyson rookie. And this was released a decade earlier, and the Mike Tyson has taken off. And the Mike Tyson in a PSA 10 could be it could be a $200,000 card.
Mike Tyson is
And
in.
so I think that this Tyson could really push the Rock rookie up to some heights.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
Like,
so I think that the Tyson could really help the Rock.
yeah,
And I
compare.
and I do know that there are some wrestling collectors that really like this one. And this is known as the Cardinal. And many collectors thought that this was the rookie for quite some time, and some still
Hmm.
do.
I got you.
But this one, and I have about a half a dozen of these as well, but it's from a trivia card game, and it doesn't have anything on back. It doesn't have a card number, card manufacturer, anything like that. But the problem was is that the games were released over multiple years. So they were released in 1997, 1998, and Beckett has actually started labeling those cards 1998. And what I like about the Panini is that it's a true
Hmm.
1997 issue.
Yeah, going back.
So there's a little bit of debate, back and forth,
Yeah,
but I think in the long run, the Panini is going to be the Rock wrestling rookie to have.
yeah.
And of course,
Going back to the Rock.
yeah,
Yeah, thank you for providing all that information. Going back to the Rock, and you talked about Mike Tyson briefly. Um, Mike Tyson and the Rock both were involved in wrestling. Mike Tyson got in wrestling too. That's something to consider. I think anybody who goes through wrestling, they achieve a level of acting or superstar status in that way. You know what I mean? I think that set up Mike Tyson's character away from the boxing that he was doing, and I think that's what helped The Rock, and that's why those two cars are similar. Dennis Rodman is another person, another athlete who kind of created a new character in wrestling. So these, if
well,
you
Dennis Rodman's a quote character in and of himself, right? Just as an individual that he is. And
hmm
then Tyson, of course, with his appearances,
hmm do you um
in the Hangover movie and all of that. And he's really built a second career for him. But I don't think that touches to what The Rock has done in
I agree.
Hollywood and mainstream TV with the
Hmm.
Young Rock series and just his presence on social media as well.
Going back to The Rock, why now? Why did you say this is the time to help everybody else out there who's holding cards, who doesn't know if they should get rid of them, if they should hold them for the long term? Why now is the time to put the Rock rookie on the Golden auction?
Well, Golden Auction, the last auction that they had for all of their lots, they amassed $45.2 million. So if you're going to get rid of a high end collectible, I believe that Golden Auction is the way to go.
Mm.
And there's a couple reasons why I wanted to submit my Rock rookie. Is that one, of course, that there'd be some benefit to me for whatever the final auction price is. But most importantly, I feel is that it's going to put wrestling on the big stage. And that's going to be better for all of my collection that I have in hand here today.
Hmm.
And with, all of my friends out there, wrestling collectors, David Peck and Joey Graben and Jamie and all of these guys that are hardcore wrestling collectors, if this thing could run and it's a really hot market right now, then we're all going to benefit from it.
Give them a quick story on the card too. I want them to know the backstory for people who didn't listen to the previous episode. So this was these cards are from what was it, Cairo, Egypt?
Yes, so there was a warehouse find that had 30 to 35 of these cases. And a lot of these were released in December. They started trickling out, and a lot of them came out in January. So the boxes have definitely increased from in price from about $150 to $200 to about $900 a box. I think that price could go up much higher after this hits Golden Auctions. It was a old abandoned warehouse, and this is some of the information that I got from one of the sellers. And some of the things that I found out were I think there was some leakage in the roof or something like that, because some of the boxes were damaged, some of them were moldy, some of them were crushed. So even though that you had this warehouse find, to find high grade stickers from this find, it could be pretty tough.
I like how you brought up the
And so
story. I
if
like.
you're looking at the overall boxes,
Mhm.
there were, 750 to 850 boxes from
I,
this warehouse find.
I like how you brought up the story and you included the mold too, because I think that kind of stuff, the story in itself, adds to the value of the card. If you know the history of how it was handled, it was traveled, and it still became a 10 at the end. You know what I mean? I think that accounts for a lot. That story would have been as cool as if you just left it in a drawer, like when you bought it. You know what I mean? But the fact that you know the card actually persevered to still become PSA 10, I think that was pretty nice.
Yeah, the seller that I bought them from, he actually purchased the first cases from the warehouse, and he was able to secure the best cases
Gotcha.
from there that weren't crushed, that didn't have mold damage, etc. So I was able to get on the front end of that and get the ones that were in the best shape.
Hmm. Perfect. And so that was Rob England, and that was him explaining the PSA card that he has going on the market. What was the date? Let's get the date. We didn't talk about the date.
So they told me that it could be March 22nd. They said it could change a day or two. It was going to be in this most recent auction. And when I actually reached out to them, they had said that it was going to be in the uh, March card auction that's going on right now. But
Perfect.
they want to put it in the elite auction, which I think is beneficial to more exposure, because that's going to be 2 weeks instead of one.
Hmm.
So
Do we know how many eyes have, like, when you put stuff on the auction like that? Do we know how many eyes are actually looking at it? Does it tell you, like, I mean, people are interested in it and stuff like that, or is it just floating on the, you know?
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know exactly how many people that they have registered for their auction. I do know that they have the right type of bidders
right.
when you consider the amount of money that they got from their last auction for sure.
I agree.
But
I
I don't
agree.
know the sheer numbers.
So we'll follow Rob England, throughout this journey on the sports car, and we definitely want to make sure, for the car collectors out there, that you could take something from this. One, that is possible. Two, who it's possible from. So if you want to ask Rob England, the Wrestle Car King, any questions, he'll be able to assist you. You know what I mean? You don't have to feel lost out there. He's experienced. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter, Wrestling Card K1. I get a lot of DMs these days, but I am able to respond to those and definitely willing to assist anyone in the hobby.
That's right. We're gonna wrap this up. Until next time, y'all definitely be hearing from him again. This is the Rolling Pin Podcast. Gary Foos, Rob England, signing out.